day, and I will correct some people sometimes if I'm in a space where I feel comfortable to do that. And I have had that while pregnant, especially because it's been she, mother, yada, 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 all very, very woman focused.
I felt kind of scared to go into the hospital system, that I didn't trust that, you know, the generic healthcare system could actually hold my gender diversity. You know, being hapu is already like a bit of a hazard for a non-binary person because you spend your whole time with people assuming that you're cis, and all of a sudden your, I don't know, your womanness is like very loud to everybody.
Because queer, but specifically genderqueer, gender diverse, trans people are already more prone to having mental health issues. And then there's proven fact, like it's proven fact that when you enter into parenthood, those things are just exacerbated whether you're the one that's hapu or not, because you're going through this whole different stage of your life. So if you've already got, you know, being gender diverse on board or being trans, and then you've got the whole thing of like already having some form of mental illness, or maybe that mental illness coming on because of your identity, like, you know, people mistreating you, disrespecting you, and then adding parenting, like that's a lot.
I feel like it's too much for people to hold. I feel like I'm too much for people to hold too many things. So I just have to let go of one in order to prioritise my baby. A baby having, you know, the safety to choose whatever they want.
For individual practitioners, there's kind of a wide range of things that they can do every day in their practice to be providing care that is more inclusive and safer for trans, non-binary and other gender diverse whānau. First and foremost, it's a reflective practice, kind of understanding that not everyone in your care will be identified as a woman, and ensuring that we start to think about the ways that we can challenge those norms in our everyday use of language, in the way we talk about bodies, in the way we talk about who birthing families are.
I had a really amazing LMC, so that was incredible, and she has a trans kid herself, and so I felt really safe that she would do her best.
It's been positive in terms of the fact that I've had a midwife who's also BIPOC and who invests time in wanting to like look at care for LGBTQA plus parents.
And the ways that we support the people in our care to interact with care systems, changing the way we collect data in perinatal care so we have opportunities for people to be identified as the gender that they are, asking people's gender, making sure that when we inquire and record someone's gender and their pronouns that we then use the correct gender and pronouns, not only with the whānau that we're working with, but when we are engaging with the wider system in relation to that whānau, referrals, handovers. We can think about the ways in which our clinical spaces, whether that's your own clinic room or the information you share or the wider services that we refer whānau into, have given some thought and consideration to communicating inclusivity.
That made me feel braver that when we went down to see the nurses, that when the nurse, you know, used the wrong pronouns, that I was able to be like, oh, actually we're, you know, just to even have one person support you means it has such a beautiful flow-on effect, because you feel like this is valid, and it's okay for me to take the time and space to say, you know, often it can feel that things are quite rushed, and it feels like it's almost, sometimes I feel like it's perceived as a waste of time, and so then you take that on board and don't want to take the time to go, hey, can we slow down a little bit? The pronouns are getting out of whack.
What I would like to communicate is just that, like, be really gentle and understanding, and make sure that if someone sets a boundary with you, they're not doing it to hurt you. It's not personal. Like, they're actually just trying to protect themselves, and it's part of their journey of not maybe being so anxious, because when you do that thing, it might make them anxious, or if you say those words to them, it might trigger something really depressing for them.